Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Weekly Planet where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. My name is James, also known as Mr. Sunday, and with me, as always, Nick Mason.
What a terrific time to be alive.
You got something to say, don't you?
Oh, I'll always do. You can't bloody stop me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, you could hit stop on that.
But that wouldn't stop you. You could keep going.
That's true. You could even edit this out. What am I saying? What am I doing?
You're just talking.
Oh, that's good.
In this podcast that you're on.
Oh, well, you can't stop me, can you?
No, you can't.
That's right. Unstoppable force.
Yeah?
It's an immovable object. The stop button.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Mason, it's a big week, isn't it?
Yes.
So many movies are out, but we chose Until Dawn.
Until dawn. That's great.
It's Dawn.
We could. You're confused there because we could have chosen the Accountant.
The Accountant, yes, that's right.
We could have watched Novocaine, but I mean that's out of the public consciousness at this point.
Is out, maybe.
Havoc is out on Netflix. No, it is. Yeah.
Haven't watched that one. We could have watched Andor episodes 1 to 3, which we did, but we'll probably do a bigger recap on that. We do have a question at the very end about a particular scene.
Andor season 2.
That's right. But that's right, Mason. Untuned Dawn. What? No. Why? It's sort of. Is it a sequel to the game? Sort of.
It's a prequel to the game. Maybe.
Is it? Maybe.
I've played the game.
Yeah.
And everybody has played the game. Thinks
it's
sucks.
bad. It's terrible.
Yeah.
If you do want to skip to any of that, there are time codes below. But of course, we've got the news up top. We're going to talk about the first reactions to the Thunderbolts movie, which is out next week. We'll be talking about big Marvel movie. You excited for that?
They're saying movies are back. Specifically, Marvel movies are back.
Yep.
And we're all back.
Well, I thought it was back with the last one that came out.
You were wrong.
Was I?
Yep.
But I said it was a movie.
You were wrong, though.
I went to the movies.
No,
I saw it. Everyone was running around.
Let me be clear. If you finished,
I'm finished.
you're wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, movies weren't back. And maybe if you will listen back to that episode, maybe I did say movies were back.
I don't think you did.
But in retrospect,
I don't think
movies
either.
were not
Hey, look,
back.
my son liked it, so
Okay, great.
movies are back for him.
I mean, movies were back for Sinners. That's doing
so
very well.
true.
Yeah.
We're also going to talk about some rumors, both good and bad, for that new Star Wars movie with Ryan Gosling in it.
I see.
Yeah.
I haven't heard any rumors about it this week.
Well, there's so many rumors.
Are you making these up?
There's one rumor about it, Mason, two-ish.
It's cancelled?
No, it's happening. It seems to be happening.
Is that the rumor that it's happening?
That is the rumor. That's what people. That's the scuttlebutt.
Insiders are saying the thing that was announced is happening.
We're going to talk about Sam Jackson returning to the Star Wars universe. Would you like that?
I guess.
Would you like that?
If I have the choice between liking it and not liking it,
You like it.
I guess I like it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Don't you want to see him re-team with whoever and do a fight? But he's got one hand.
So re-teaming with those other Jedi that got killed really easily.
Yeah, that's right.
But they're back somehow.
They're ghosts.
Okay. So what are they going to do in the team?
You should have stopped us from being stabbed.
Just whinging.
Yeah, you just step back and let us get stabbed. Then you had a cool fight. We had
So
to
Mace
watch.
could have caught the first couple of lightsaber
I think
blades
so. He probably could have.
in his chest or head. Okay.
Exactly.
Wow.
We'll talk about that. Then we're going to talk about a couple of trailers. One for Weapons, which is Zach Cregger's next movie. He, of course, directed Barbarian. But I feel like he's directed several movies in between because every second horror movie is like, from the mind of Barbarian Man.
That's right.
But he's normally produced or whatever.
Conan the Barbarian.
That's right, yeah. And Predator Badlands, which is a very interesting, it seems, new Predator
Very
movie.
interesting.
And then, of course, we're going to talk about the Sinners box office and what the trades are saying, how it's the death of Hollywood, etc.
That's right,
But it seems to be doing exceptionally well.
Yeah.
Which is very funny.
There's some amount of there was a very dismissive
Yeah.
an article that was from Variety that was very dismissive of its clear success.
Absolutely.
And then they seem to have been doing a little bit of backtracking over the last
They
week.
should be. And then Until Dawn, etc.
Yeah. Oh, but also,
Yeah, Mason, you got to plug some
I've
stuff.
got some things to say, and you can't stop me except in all the ways you have previously established.
I can't even imagine pressing stop on this and then having to start it again.
Because then there'd be two files.
Oh, my
Somebody
God.
You'd have to email two files over.
Oh, Collins would be like, why are there two files? And then he'd fire me.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah. Which he can do. It's in his contract.
Yeah, I think it's good. It keeps
Yeah.
us on our toes.
I think so too. I am on this week's episode of Thunderbolts.
Well, that's video games.
That's right. And
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of video games, as you know, and I play them a lot.
You've never played video games.
I've played...
The last video game you probably played was a Monkey Island something.
That's exactly what I talk about
I
on the
knew it.
podcast.
Also, I think you told me that.
That's right. The last game I played and finished. So we talk about that extensively.
Yeah. Well, you watched me play that Jason Bourne game. Does that count?
It doesn't come up.
BigSandwich.co.
That's right.
So go on.
Yeah, it's Joel and Jackson.
Yep.
They're talking about video games in a very, very, very irreverent way, if you can imagine such a thing.
No, yeah, I've been on
And
it.
we have a good time.
Yeah.
And stay till the end for my best impression yet.
Is it
like
Mr.
the very, very
Did you meet
end.
Mr. Ads?
I did meet Mr. Ads, but I have met him before.
Fantastic.
Yeah. We met him at the live show. He threw Feastables at us.
Oh, yeah, he did. I didn't get any Feastables.
No,
I've
neither
never
did I.
had a Feastables.
They're better
Yeah.
than they were.
Great. Well, that means
Unless they've since gotten worse.
that means I'm going to get some.
Okay.
Also, I love that Mr. Beast Amazon show. I'm just kidding. It's absolutely unwatchable.
Right.
What were they thinking?
Are you excited for his appearance in Love, Death and Robots?
I've stopped watching that show
Okay.
many seasons ago.
So this is going to
Nothing against
reinvigorate
it.
your interest.
Probably, yeah.
That's what I
Is
thought.
he some kind of game show hosting man in the future?
I think so, yeah.
Is it actually him?
I think so.
Or is it like they put his brain into a TV screen or something?
The more questions you ask, the less sure I am that it's actually him.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I think I saw something that he was in that. But I don't know. It might have been on Twitter and I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah. Anyway, Thumb Cramps, good time.
That's
what a
right.
delightful time. Wonderful.
We also, Mason,
Oh, yes.
went on the Friends Per Second podcast.
That's right.
Which was also video games. This episode features Ralph from Skill Up, Jake Baldino from Game Ranks, and Alana Pierce from just video games in general.
Video games.
Including God of War Ragnarok.
That's right.
Among other things. And there's also a surprise guest, just briefly, that's not just us, but we are on it together.
It's Mr. Beast.
It's Mr. Beast.
Mr.
He's
Beast
there.
pops in.
That's
yeah.
right. And he
Mr.
goes,
Beast is there, then Mr. Ads is there.
it's incredible.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
wild stuff.
So we talked about video game to movie adaptations
yeah.
and just kind of podcasting and like the industry in general. And it was a blast.
We had
It
a
was
fun
a
time.
lot of fun. So that is on the Skill Up YouTube channel.
Now, or potentially later.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Those guys are awesome and they all do different things in relation to video games, but they come together every 2 weeks to do this podcast. And yeah, it was a blast. Also, we're on video and we managed to figure it out. And by we, I mean me.
That's right.
And it looks good. Because it was delayed the first time because that I had some technology problems. But now there were no technology problems, were there?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. So those things are all linked below. All right, Mason, let's get into this.
Okay.
The first reaction to Thunderbolts asterisks are in.
Pazzow!
People are saying Marvel's back
This ain't Pazzow.
best since Endgame. Did you think this universe was dead? Did you stop caring about these characters?
That's right. We Control C, Control V, the best movie since Endgame from all our previous reviews.
Whoa.
And we put it in this review.
Unbelievable.
But this time we mean it.
Yeah.
It says the best one since Endgame, asterisk. This time we mean it.
We're not trying to trick you again. This one is real.
That's right.
Now, of course, all the first responses have been very positive. That doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Oh,
that
yes.
literally always happens.
Well, I mean, when you saw Captain America Brave New Bird, you said movies are back.
I did
And
say
we
movies
know
are
as
back.
a first reaction that was wildly off.
And it was back to
Deranged is what I would
It's probably
call
one of my favorite movies of the year in terms of box office, which is true.
Okay, because the box office was middling.
Yeah,
you
it was
like
middling.
that?
I think it just made its money back.
Okay.
Which is incredible, but it might be the highest grossing movie of the year still, as of so far.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But they've seemingly pulled out all the stops in terms of the marketing this time
Yeah.
around. Florence Pugh jumped off the second tallest building in
there's
the world or something.
way more real stuff in this than I thought. You know that explosion that you see behind her?
Mm-hmm.
When she's completing that mission. That's a real explosion I just saw. So this is me doing marketing for free for this movie.
Seems that way,
This
yeah.
movie that, if you're listening to this, you're probably going to see, or at least read the Wikipedia synopsis. All the spoilers are out. I haven't read any of them about what the Thunderbolts means and the asterisks and
Oh,
the
it's all out.
villains
I haven't
and
seen
the
it.
post-credits and everything.
I
So
gotta stay off the socials.
I've been avoiding
But can
that.
I?
I believe you're going to the Melbourne screening, is that right?
Yes.
I might not be able to.
The single Melbourne screening.
That's right.
The one showing in Melbourne.
That's it. So, but you know, I'll take my son and we'll go hang out and he'll have the goddamn time of his life, as he did with Captain America, Big Red Bird.
Do you think he's going to stand up and cheer when Taskmaster is torn to shreds?
Oh my God, he's so excited. He's going to be like, who's that?
Which
But
I
he's gonna
don't know
be
for
cheering.
sure because I haven't read the spoilers, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's getting torn to shreds.
That's what happens. Are you excited for this? Because this is the one of the Marvel movies this year. This is the one
I
I'm
am.
most looking forward to.
And you know why? 'Cause also, I think because it is so personality driven,
Yeah.
seemingly, and it's all the personalities are awful grubs.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot.
Well, Ryan Reynolds came out this week and said Green Lantern's bad, and it was bad and cost a lot of money.
Can you believe I did one bad movie?
Yeah.
Can you believe that one mistake I made?
You did If, Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Recently.
Yeah. It's just lucky for you that entire thing got memory hole and nobody can tell it apart from any of those other movies that are like that. Was Tim Allen in that? Was it a Christmas movie? We don't know.
We don't know.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone to the four winds.
What if your memories had secrets, but also was your friend?
That's right.
Yeah.
Was that live action or completely CG? Was that Pixar? Was it Disney? I don't know. He's just hidden in there.
Yeah.
He snuck away.
Yeah.
You dog, Ryan Reynolds.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was like, what the lesson that he learned from Green Lantern while they were spending a bunch of money on all the stuff, what it looks like, etc.
Sure.
He was like, maybe we should spend no money and take a beat to like write some dialogue.
Interesting.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
That's movie making. Or it can be.
Yeah.
Sometimes it isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parallax is right behind me, isn't he?
Yeah.
For example. It's a free bit of dialogue. You can put that back. You can just ADR that in.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Next one's not free.
No.
Yeah.
You don't have another idea, though.
I don't have another idea, no. But that's what I'm saying. The sheer mental workload it would take for me to come up with another line as good as that.
Yeah.
That would cost money.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
This one's via Daniel Richman.
Hey, you're a big cloud of piss.
That'll cost you. You like Star Wars news?
No.
Well, here's some Star Wars news. Here's 2 bits of Star Wars news. Daniel Richman, as you know, on the Marvel, the studio spoilers Reddit, has a 78.35% accuracy rating.
Has that gone up recently or down? That's
It's about where it's at.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good something.
Yeah.
It's more than a coin flip.
It's true.
It's a B+.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Anyway, so in terms of the movie Star Wars Starfighter, which was the one they announced last week, it's Sean Levy who directed Deadpool versus Wolverine, and this is the synopsis. Apparently, it follows a 15-year-old boy on a mission with his uncle, played by Ryan Gosling. They're being pursued by a duo of villains, one male, one female. So this is where things get interesting because Jesse Plemons and Jodie Comer were initially offered the villain roles but declined. Mikey Madison was later approached for the female lead but also passed. Another key role is the boy's mother, possibly Gosling's sister-in-law, though it's unclear. Sarah Snook was offered that part but she turned it down. Greta Lee was considered for another female role as a cantina owner. The leads encounter on their mission but she too declined. So from this alone, 5 pretty prominent names went... No, thank you. No Star Wars.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Not with Gosling. No, thank you.
I do wonder whether this is a because they are doing this one on the cheap. Whether this is a wage thing as well, because I don't think any of these people are like would be against appearing, or maybe it is just like we think this sucks and I don't.
Maybe it's a
do
time commitment thing.
Yeah.
Maybe like you can't sign on to any other projects during this time period, and people are looking at things like Blade and all the other cancelled Star Wars projects.
No, Blade's happening.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's good.
No, last week, they were like, no, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this week, I think...
The composer came out and said...
Yeah, Flying Lotus said, it was going to be real cool.
Yeah.
And who else did? Who was in Sinners? It was...
Michael B. Jordan was in it.
No, he's not in it.
Michael C. Jordan
No.
was in it. Michael C. Howe was in it.
Delroy Lindo said he was in it, I think.
Oh, that would have been cool.
And they'd worked on some stuff, but it's too late.
Was he going to be Whistler?
He was going to be Whistler.
I like Whistler. Yeah. Anyway, all in all, Ryan Gosling's Starfighter movie. It is happening.
That's right.
What would you call him? Jake Starfighter or something?
I wouldn't say that.
Ryan Starfighter? You said this last week.
No, I didn't say anything last week.
You didn't have any opinions on anything last week?
Listen back.
Okay.
I'm not on it at all.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
You memory holding this?
No, I was there.
Is this the movie If, but a podcast?
No, I was there, but if you really think about it,
Yeah.
you'll realize I didn't say anything.
Okay.
I simply sat there and
Yep.
you just kept talking.
Spinning my wheels.
Spinning those wheels and
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting for me.
I think so too.
Mason, this is via the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast.
Was that all the Star Wars news?
No, this is also Star Wars. Just get excited for once. Why can't you just love Star Wars as much as everybody does, which is nobody anymore?
I don't know. Why can't I just love Star Wars as much as all the people that hate everything that comes out of Star Wars?
Bryce Dallas Howard was talking about Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay.
And as we know, he played Mace Windu and he was killed,
Whoa.
allegedly, apparently, in the last Star Wars
What are you,
movie.
the Emperor's lawyer? Now, as we know, he was allegedly killed. You even did the finger quotes. Allegedly killed.
Well, let's not commit to anything,
Yeah.
right? We just saw him fall a great distance, minus a hand.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything.
Now, my client was simply attempting to recharge some light globes in his fancy, floating apartment or whatever he lives in, and he was doing that utilizing a skill he learned, as a businessman, lightning from the hands.
Yeah.
And Mace Windu. I mean, first of all, he ended without a warrant.
Yeah, not okay.
Not on at all.
Yeah.
And then he leapt from the
And his
balcony.
hand fell off.
And his hand fell off also. Yeah. Possible drug use. Who's to say?
Who is to say?
Objection overruled. All right. Strike it from the record. We all know.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
She said, Sam Jackson has been incredibly supportive of me and he's told me many times that he would act in something that I directed. And then I went straight to Dave Filoni, Cowboy Hat Star Wars. And he said, and I was like, I love Cowboy Hat Star Wars. So let's talk about Mace Windu and where he is, because is he dead? Is he? So what do you think, Mason? Bring back Mace Windu? You do that Obi-Wan show where you make it not as boring and you have him, he has to refight the Emperor. Because you don't know what happened between Star Wars Episode 3 and Star Wars Episode 4 to Mace Windu.
Oh, that's true.
They could have had another fight that's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except this time it would have been set on the ground.
Yeah.
And at the end, the Emperor flings him into the air. And then you just never see him again.
And his foot comes off.
His foot comes off. That's right. And you know what? 2 appendages left.
That's right.
So we got 2 more sequels in him.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I'm kind of past the point where I want to see anybody ever again. Both in movies and in life.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. So you were telling me earlier to get excited about this Star Wars news, and then you lay it all out, and then you're like, I don't care if any of these characters live or die, nor do I care about the actors.
Or anybody in real life.
Anybody in real life.
I don't know. I mean,
sometimes I wish I was on the ground and then I got flung into space and I never returned.
And my foot came off.
Came off. Because then if your kids were like, Dad, can you help me with this? You'd be like, can't, foot came off. Sorry, kids.
I'd love to. If my foot didn't come off, which it did. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's because, having just watched Andor,
the good Star Wars.
I don't think anything's better than this.
Yeah.
And, but also Star Wars is whatever. They got little kid Jedi shows where they're running around and being like, I gotta do a flip and believe in myself. What kind of fruit is this? And then it's Andor where, it's pretty grim.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They know what fruit it is. And that fruit is oppression. And they're fighting back against it.
They certainly are, Mason. Do you know what's coming in today right now?
What's that?
Trailers.
Hank.
That's right.
Hank.
Okay.
Hank.
Stop.
Hank.
I don't like this.
Right.
This boat.
So he's all right. He's dumped his trailers.
Has he? Oh, he's gone? Good.
He gave you 2 finger smokestacks and then he took off.
What am I going to do with that? Nothing. I'm not even going to think about it. Mason.
I think you're going to do nothing but think about it.
Memory hole it. 2 trailers. One is for Weapons, which is Zach Cregger's next film. He, of course, directed Barbarian.
Yep. He produced Companion.
He did. Which apparently
Companion? It's an anagram of Airbnb. Did you know that?
No.
It is.
Is that actually true?
No.
Do not make me look that up.
Why would Companion be an anagram?
Do not make me look that up, Mason.
But some people have said that Barbarian is an anagram of Airbnb, which it is if you move some of the letters around and take some out.
That's very funny, Mason. So, of course, Zach Cregger, I mean, I don't know if you've seen Barbarian, Mason.
I have seen it.
Yeah, it's an incredible
seen it.
Movie.
And is Barbarian, without spoiling any of Barbarian, is it connected to this? It might be.
Why do you say that?
Because this is an old school teaser trailer, which doesn't reveal much, but it gives you a little website, little augmented reality website where it's got a news article and so forth, and it's like, this week in the news, missing kids. But also, did you hear about that other thing that happened?
This giant woman ran out of the sewers. It was crazy.
It's crazy, right?
Killed Justin Long.
Justified? Dunno. Who's to say?
Go on, sorry.
Oh no, it's just there's a news article.
Same universe.
Like,
okay,
here's a Barbarian
I don't
happening.
think that means anything.
No, it doesn't.
I just think it means maybe they're all some of Tarantino movies are in the same universe.
But this is like an old school Easter egg kind of situation.
This is like the Blair Witch website from 1998, a year before it came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Do you want a synopsis? Oh, do you want to explain the trailer?
Oh, it's
kids doing the Naruto run, sort of.
But it's a spooky Naruto run.
Yeah.
It's a Sparuto run.
Spookanuto.
It's the Spooknuto run. No, and if you're there, you're putting your kids to bed, and then they're moving their arm, they start lifting their arms, and you're like, don't do the Spooknuto run.
God damn
don't do it.
You've got school tomorrow.
That's right.
Do not do the Spooknuto
run. But it's all we're seeing like Ring camera footage of kids very late at night.
217.
Yeah, leaving their homes by themselves and then running to some undisclosed location. Why they're doing it? We don't know.
We don't know.
I don't know.
The synopsis is the film revolves around multi-related plots marked by the disappearance of school kids at exactly 2:17 a.m. We don't see this in the trailer, but it stars Josh Brolin.
Oh, yes.
Julie Garner.
Oh. Julia Garner?
Julia Garner, sorry.
She's the Silver Surfer.
I was too busy because I spelled her last name wrong here, so I was too busy focusing on that.
The
I
one
said
and
her
only
first name.
Silver Surfer that
That's
will
right.
ever be.
The only one that we like. Alden Ehrenreich.
Oh, yes.
Benedict Wong.
Ooh.
These are all classic
Now, these are all the
names.
kids.
Yeah, these are all the
They've
kids.
face replaced the kids with
Correct.
these big adult
They're
heads.
using the Tom Hanks technology from Polar Express.
Okay.
And they haven't updated it, which I love.
Even though they could have easily used the one from Here, the movie Here.
I don't see that.
Okay.
I don't see it happening.
You've memory hold? Have you memory hold here? Did you only just remember it now?
Yeah, now that
Yeah.
you've said it. I was explaining it to somebody recently. I was like, what a sad movie.
Sure.
But not for the reasons that it's supposed to be sad.
No.
What was I going to say about this
But
one?
movies were back when that came out.
That's true. Remember us screaming in the cinemas? Yeah.
Now, have any internet sleuths looked into what happens at 2:17 a.m.?
No. Well,
Okay.
not that I've looked up.
Right.
I know this comes out August 8th.
Okay. Well, that's the 8th of the 8th.
Wow.
8 plus 8 is 16.
It's true.
Pretty close to 2:17, isn't it?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
I'm having the best time of my goddamn life.
What happens in between in that 1 minute? Probably the devil. Probably
Do you
the
reckon the
devil's
devil's
there.
running
I reckon
around?
The devil's running around. Yeah. And he's like, "Hey, kids, get your steps in."
Get your steps in.
You know?
He's doing good work then.
I think so,
You should
too.
get your steps in.
I think so.
You getting your steps in?
Yeah.
You got your steps in today?
Probably not. Have a look.
I don't exercise on the weekend, Mason.
Wow.
I'll have you know.
Cheat weekend.
Yep. What do we got here, Mason?
I do not have my
The
full
next
steps.
trailer.
Okay.
Okay, what do you got? What are you up to?
4,300.
4,300.
Yeah.
I could do that in bed.
Yeah. Because you put one of those like bicycle,
Yeah.
those bicycle pedal machines in your
I'm
bed.
just having the time of my life. Does my phone even register that? I doubt it.
I doubt it. You've probably done even more steps than that.
I would say so.
Do we have any more to say about weapons? Looks intriguing.
I'm excited.
I hope they don't do they'll probably do another trailer. They'll probably do a full length, but I hope it is exactly as
Well, the
unrevelatory
Barbarian
as this one.
trailers weren't anything.
That's true.
That was just like, this will make you shit your pants. And it was pretty scary.
Yeah.
It was a pretty scary movie.
Yeah.
Very tense. Mason,
Yes.
now we've got a trailer for Predator Badlands.
Oh, that's right.
Let me give you the synopsis.
Okay, go on.
In the future of on a remote planet, a young predator, outcast from his clan, finds an unlikely ally in Thea, and embarks on a treacherous journey in search of the ultimate adversary. This is like a Predator
Macho
movie.
Man Randy Savage.
He died already. But this is...
That's why it's a fruitless search.
Okay, don't bother.
You could go through time.
I guess you could, which these movies don't do at the moment.
They could,
Except
though.
they nearly did in The Predator when... The Predator 2018, when Alan Ripley was going to be in it at the
Oh,
end
that's
or
right.
something.
Yeah. And then we're going to figure it out in the next movie, which would be cancelled.
Yeah, that's good.
Because Sigourney Weaver would not sign on.
Why would you sign on for that? It's a
Yeah,
bad
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
This looks like it's a bunch of stuff that we haven't seen in Predator movies, but we have seen in comics.
Yeah, right.
And expanded media. I'm all for this.
Yep.
I'm not saying it's going to be good, but I'm saying it's not just like Prey is basically Predator.
But is this...
And I
this-
like same
this is all-
director.
Same director. Okay, then I'm going to say I think it probably will be good.
Yeah. So Dan Trachtenberg.
Yes.
And he's talked about, and I know him as well as Fede Alvarez, who did the last Alien movie, have talked about crossing over these franchises.
Yep.
And there's a bunch of hints in this that, well, not just hints, just very obviously telling you that this is also the Alien universe.
Yeah. And also, opening, a classic opening shot of this trailer
Yep.
is the wall of Predator skull trophies, which includes a
That's
T-Rex.
Bill Pullman's skull from Independence Day.
Whoa!
And also an alien from Independence Day.
It's the alien from Independence Day. Some people have said it's a War of the Worlds alien, but 20th Century Fox owned.
Shut up.
Independence
Who's
Day,
saying
so-
that? And shut up.
I don't know, but I'll tell them to shut up too. But that's a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Bit of a fun reference there.
Absolutely.
Love that. And the T-Rex.
It's from the Adam Driver movie.
Oh, yeah. That would make
Dinosaur
sense.
Planet, which is Earth, spoiler alert.
And then you can add the time travel.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Good movie.
And other guys. You know all these other guys?
Yeah, aliens, etc.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This guy's head's too big, isn't it?
Get a
His head's
smaller
too
head,
big.
mate.
His head's too big.
Get a smaller head, brother.
Your head's too big. Anyway.
What song are you singing there?
You know that song that says your feet's too big?
No.
Okay, all right.
That's someone with one foot. I don't like that either.
Okay.
My foot flew off.
It's true.
So it looks as if also, what's her name? Which Fanning is in
It's
this?
Elle Fanning.
Elle Fanning.
Little girl Elle Fanning is in
You've
this.
seen in her eyes roll back and she's got a Weyland-Yutani
Yeah.
logo on her face, eyes. Which means that also there's rumors or stories that they're talking about. There's actually two of her in this.
Okay.
Which means one could be a synthetic or one is a human woman and one
Right.
isn't.
Uh-huh.
Either way, it doesn't really matter. I like this. That
My
they're
guess
doing that.
for the cast for the upcoming, at this point, purely theoretical Alien vs. Predator movie. It's the synthetic and the last surviving protagonist of Alien Romulus.
Yep.
Plus these two.
Okay.
So the Predator in this and the other
Kaylee
synthetic.
Spaney.
Yeah, Kaylee Spaney and David Johnson.
Oh, yeah, he's a robot too.
David Johnson.
I liked him a lot in that movie.
Yeah.
The Predator.
Plus Dutch, and he's got a robot arm.
Yeah.
And it's just the video game.
Great.
It's just the arcade game, and it's just them
16-bit.
Yeah, they're just walking left to right.
Great.
Punching and shooting.
Terrific.
No plot.
I am worried that maybe eventually they're going to cross all these over and then we're stuck in that.
Yeah, and it's bad.
With
the last one's bad.
Well, you know, like now with Godzilla versus Kong and those separate universes, now the MonsterVerse movies have to have like them all in it.
That's true, yeah.
Well, it seems that way.
Yeah, you can't strip it back to just Godzilla again.
I'm sure they probably can, but yeah. But that's, you know, you're on a certain path. That being said, people have opinions about the new design. They don't like it as much of the Predator in particular.
All the Predators look different, don't they?
Yeah. And apparently that one's a runt.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense.
And it seems as if what they've done here as well, they've kind of made it more emotive.
Right,
Because the Predators you can never read any emotion on them. Whereas this, you can see like, oh, there's kind of fear in that and whatever.
Yeah.
So
you can't read any emotion on anyone, though.
Me?
So, yeah.
I can read your emotions. You're having a great time.
I'm having a great time. I retract my previous accusation.
Accusation?
That's right. That's what you get at the doctors.
That's
the doctor
right.
examines you and gives you an accusation.
That's right.
Is that right?
Yep.
You've only got 1 foot.
What?
Yeah, that's right.
No, I knew that already.
Yeah. This looks cool.
It does look
and
cool.
There's a big laser sword.
Yeah, I'm also excited for something different in this universe. Because I think also with Alien Romulus, it's like, this is sort of like an Alien's greatest hits, sort of. I liked it. It worked. Same with Prey. It's basically Predator.
Oh, also the lady from Prey. She'll also be in the. She'll be in the Alien versus Predator team.
They have to bring her to the future somehow.
That's fine.
Using cryostasis. You don't need to use time travel.
Thank you. Or relativistic faster than light effects or whatever. They'll fly her off planet and then back on, and then it'll be the present day or the future.
I won't do it.
All right.
I won't allow it.
Okay.
Yeah. Great. This is out. Oh, when's this out? This is coming to theaters because, of course, Prey very nearly didn't go to theaters. Oh, wait. Did that go to streaming?
It went to streaming, I think.
That's
because we all
crazy.
went. They
What are
should
you
have
doing?
They should have put this at the movies because everybody liked it.
Oh,
And
November
everybody
7th. This is ages away.
That's ages away.
I could be dead by then.
You should be dead by then.
I should be dead by then.
Yeah.
God damn it. I'm just looking at this. So the budget of the last one was 60 for Prey was 60. Why would they put that to streaming? Fucking Disney. I guess it was 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Movies weren't back yet, so.
No, I guess they weren't. Okay, great. Mason.
Great.
We got to talk about what do we got here? The Sinners second weekend. Huge. Looks like it's going to come in between $42 to $44 million, which is about a 10% drop.
That's low.
In box office. That is, I mean, if a movie has a 50% drop,
That's pretty standard.
that's good.
Yeah.
Also, bearing in mind this cost about $100 million maybe. So it made. Yeah, so it would be what did it make in the first week? I can't remember, but not 70 to 90. I can't remember. It was good. It
was
did
good.
well.
Yeah.
And especially for a first week, especially for like a property that wasn't based on anything or a sequel or
And
a
it's
prequel or
R-rated
a
in the
universe. And
US?
It's R-rated. Yep. Was it not R-rated here?
I think it was probably
15,
MA.
maybe. Yeah.
Probably MA.
But of course, the trades have been saying, well, they were saying last week that this deal that Ryan Coogler had.
That's right.
Which people, if you don't
ruined
know,
cinema.
is the director, and he basically means that he gets the rights back to this in 25 years. So when he's 65 or whatever he is. So I saw an interview with him, and he was asked about it, and he's like, this is a very common deal for like prominent directors, like Tarantino's had it a bunch.
Yeah.
A bunch of other directors, I don't think he named specifically, have had this deal in the past, and nobody cared about that. And they were like, why do you think they care about you having this deal? And he's like, I would rather not say.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to,
And here's the classic, here's the Variety.
targeted.
Here's the tweet from Variety 6 days ago. Sinners has amassed $61 million in its global debut. It's a great result for an original R-rated horror film. Yet the Warner Brothers release has a $90 million price tag before global marketing expenses. So profitability remains a ways away. This was like 2 days after the movie came out. Yeah, and it was retweeted by Ben Stiller, who said, in what universe does a $60 million opening for an original studio movie warrant this headline? Yeah. And a lot of people also echoed that exact statement. It's like, do they do this after Marvel movies, 2 days in?
I think, I can't remember specifically, but I don't know, like, in relation to the budget and the box office, but I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood had a similar debut.
Yeah,
And there was like, movies are back and cinema's real.
That's right.
And whatever. But yeah, I think it is too. I mean, a lot of trades and variety are included. They are in league with studios.
They're owned by the studios.
And they're owned by the studios, and they're basically, they are reliable in terms of scoops often because the studios are allowing them to leak this information. So it seems as if this is just a way to kind of scare, I don't know, to have people think that this is bad, and that directors getting a deal like this would be a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like we give a shit. None of this money goes to us regardless.
Yeah.
And obviously, I don't know about you, Mason. I don't want to speak for you, but I prefer it to go to the people who created the film than.
What if the money went to blood-sucking leeches?
Okay.
You considered that?
Like literal blood-sucking leeches?
Yes.
Because I prefer that to studio heads.
Okay, then yes.
So that's kind of where we're at. And I hope it does lead to more deals like this. It probably won't. I think studios would be very reluctant to make this deal at any point.
Because then they can't. Because their goal here is nobody goes to the movies anymore. Everybody runs stuff off streaming.
Yeah.
But if in 25 years Ryan Coogler can say, no, you can't have Sinners.
Yeah.
Or you can rent, you can lease Sinners from me for a huge amount of money. They would rather just own it and it's free to them.
I also don't think this movie, like a lot of movies, is going to be worth anything in 25 years. Like it's going to front end in terms of profitability.
Right,
And I don't mean because this movie will disappear and suddenly everyone will be like, oh, this is a bad movie. I just mean it's one movie in a sea of a million movies. It's a good movie, though. He's also talked about how there's no sequel to this. It's like this movie is everything. It's like it's. He said in terms of a meal, it's like it's your entree, it's your main, it's your dessert. And
what about a prequel?
Oh, yeah.
What did Jack jump off there? At the start, he sort of jumps into frame.
Oh, yeah.
What's he jumping off?
An
elephant?
Oh, you reckon he's jumping off?
I don't know. I wouldn't dare to speculate. But that's where imagination goes, you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
And why not put that imagination into a prequel?
But specifically your idea.
Yes.
Of him jumping off an elephant?
He's jumping off an elephant.
Okay, great.
From the circus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it a vampire elephant?
Could be.
But you don't know.
I mean, it could be.
It could be.
Yeah. Can I have that idea for free?
From me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Then it is. It is that. Yeah. It's a vampire
You
elephant.
don't care whether this is a good idea. You just don't want to pay anything for it. Is that what's happening here?
Yeah. Now, vampire elephant, that'd be public domain, wouldn't it?
I'd imagine
Yeah,
so.
So that's what it is.
The tusks are sharp.
Tusks are sharp.
I mean, they're already sharp.
They're even sharper. And they're longer. And they're red. So the guy who plays the Irish vampire in that movie, he's also from Skins. Is that right?
Oh, maybe he is. I don't know what season if he is.
Okay,
What's his name? Jack O'Connell?
Jack O'Connell, yeah. I saw a little tweet and it was him and Nicholas Hoult and...
Are they in the same season of Skins, though?
I have no idea.
My question.
Daniel Kaluuya and somebody else. And it's like, this look at this talent that's came out of Skins. And apparently that's because it was one of the few productions in the UK at the time that just did an open call for everybody.
Okay, that makes sense.
You didn't already have to have an agent and a blah, blah, blah.
I mean, it felt very real at the time, yeah.
And you didn't have to go to the right school and all this sort of stuff, which seems to be pretty common in the UK.
He was also in The Bill. He was Ross Trescott in 5 episodes.
5 episodes? You got a 5-episode run of The Bill? Wow.
He appeared in season 3 of Skins. I think I only watched the first season or 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's outgoing, sexually promiscuous, and self-destructive.
In Skins?
Yeah.
I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it says at the end he was fine.
Okay.
I don't know. Great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Should we move it along?
Let's move it along.
Until Dawn. On a budget of $15 million.
$15 million.
15, not very many dollars at all.
Not many dollars at all.
It looks like its opening weekend in the US is $7 to $8 million. This is going to do okay, I think.
Sure.
Even if it ends up at about 30 worldwide, that'll be enough.
That'll do it.
To recoup its money.
That'll do, pig.
Yeah. It's also a big box office weekend. Not only you got Sinners coming out, as we talked about. Revenge of the Sith is going to make about $23 million on its re-release.
It's a re-release?
That's right.
Of a movie I don't really like?
Yeah.
Should I see it?
Yep.
I don't want to.
You can watch it at home.
I could.
For free.
I don't want to.
But you could. Don't you want to go and see Anakin and be like, you told me the Jedi were killing my people. I don't love it. You don't like that?
I mean, I like it.
But you don't love it.
No, I don't love it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, The Accountant is going to make about $25 million. So
bad.
Pretty decent weekend in terms of box office, I would say. Movies are back.
Movies are back.
What do you think the story was?
Oh, all right. So there's a group of teens or possibly young people. I can't tell.
They might be in their 30s. We don't know.
They might be in their 30s. They're going on a little a road trip because one of them, her sister, went missing a year ago.
And they keep telling you that. Even though they've been road tripping for quite a while, they keep reminding each other.
That's right. Let's beat ourselves up.
My sister went missing. Didn't your sister go missing? Stop thinking about your sister who went missing for once in your miserable life. But my sister went missing.
No, that's a good point, actually.
And
she did go missing, your sister. But anyway, they go to their road trip and they stop off at a mysterious, spooky gas station.
Fantastic.
And the mysterious, spooky gas station attendant is like, well, we don't have many people missing at the spooky gas station.
Not here,
but
brother.
Where a lot of people go missing is the spooky, mysterious ghost town.
Yep.
Where people go missing.
Constantly.
All the time.
Yeah.
Maybe you should go down there and check it out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
But he says, maybe don't do it. Maybe don't do that, wink.
Is your sister missing? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
You should go then.
Finally, somebody's opened that dialogue for me. Yes, she is missing, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, they go to the spooky little town.
And there's a rainstorm.
Uh-huh.
But is there?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they make it to a spooky little town.
They go to a spooky little town. They get in a spooky little house.
Yeah.
And then I would say this doesn't count as spoiling because it's in the trailer, I would say.
Yep.
What I would say, if you don't want to be spoiled, I would say gore and stuff is afoot.
Yep.
But what I would say, if a thing that's in the trailer, they all get killed.
Yeah.
By a man in a clown
That
mask.
would mean the movie is over.
That's what you would think. That's what you think, but you've never seen a movie all the way through.
That's true.
And you don't know how long they are. So you're like...
You told me I should do it for this one, but I didn't.
That's good for sticking to your principles, actually.
Thank
I
you
respect
so
that
much.
a lot. But then...
When they were like, my sister's missing, I'm like, well, what's the point?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, you're never going to find
Yeah,
her.
you're not licensed police investigators, are you? So what are you going to be able to do? Mm-hmm. Goodbye.
You're not Matlock.
That's right. You're not even Kathy Bates Matlock.
Exactly. Mrs. Matlock, which is her name.
Yep.
Matlock?
No.
I've never seen it all the way through or at all. But sorry, continue.
But then guess what? They're
What?
back. They're back in the house again.
Oh, they're doing Groundhog Day.
They're doing a little bit of a Groundhog Day.
Or Happy Death Day,
Yeah,
which is also movies that do
but they have to make it until dawn, all alive. Otherwise, they'll die or something, or they go mad, or they turn into monsters.
Yep.
Who's to say?
We don't know. And they'll tell us all about it. So it is a bit Happy Death Day. It's Groundhog Day. It's the cabin in the woods. There's a bit of that to it. This is director David F. Sandberg, who started his career making a smaller horror movie in Lights Out after being discovered on YouTube. Then he did Annabelle Creation, which is apparently a good Annabelle prequel movie. Then he did the Shazams.
Two
Two of those
Shazams.
Shazams movies. And then, so he's back to the horror movies, Mason.
Yes.
This is also this is a PlayStation production, and it's very loosely based on the video game of the same name.
Well, see, that's the thing, isn't it? So, the number one crossover is Peter Stormare is in the game.
Yeah.
And he's also in this movie.
But it's not really the same character, it seems.
Okay.
Or their personalities are completely
So
different.
my understanding of the Until Dawn game, which I haven't played,
Yep.
is it's sort of a...
It's a walking simulator.
It's a walking simulator.
Heavy rain.
It's an interactive narrative more than it is a game. There are, like in the movie, there are multiple characters who are young people or teenagers or something. Who's to say? Oh,
8 characters, apparently.
Right. And then you play at various points throughout the narrative. You get them to perform different actions, and if your actions or inactions result in one of those characters being killed, the story doesn't end and restarts. The story continues with the remaining characters, and then the ending is different. So you get different endings depending on whether you have all the characters survive or some of the characters die or all of them die, kind of thing.
Apparently
and so this is sort of a mechanism.
Yeah.
They've decided to...
It's a very different mechanism to this. There's 22 points of decision apparently in that video game, which results in like hundreds of endings.
Okay.
And again, it's one playthrough. You don't restart. You go through.
Yep.
If you lose a character, you either restart
completely
or you finish and then you go back.
You're right.
Rami Malek is in it, apparently.
Yeah.
Who's also referenced in this. There's a few references to people. And
hey, did you see
places.
Mr. Robot last night?
Good movie show, I mean.
Good movie show.
I went into the Reddit of this. People fucking hate this movie.
The Until Dawn.
Yeah,
Reddit.
they're like, this is nothing like the game. It doesn't do it like justice to the universe. The one character that does come over, Peter Stormare, is like completely different than what he is in the game. Just the whole thing, they're like, as a horror movie, it's fine.
Right.
But as an Until Dawn adaptation or something set in this universe, nonsense.
Yeah.
Because there's also like magical kind of elements to this, which I guess don't exist in the game. On top of that, they don't really explain
how
any
it works.
of that.
Yeah, but there are some supernatural elements in the game. I
Yes.
believe there are monsters that are pursuing these
Yeah.
characters, right? And there's references to that in this.
Ghouls,
but I guess
Wendigos.
I'm very curious as to the series of meetings that began with, it's an interactive game and some of the characters die and then and others don't. You choose that and that depends on the ending. How that evolved into there is a literal magical device in the movie that causes the time loop to happen. Kind of thing.
Who did it?
Who built it?
We don't know.
Yeah,
Who
maybe
built
psychic power built it.
It probably was a psychic thing. Yeah,
Probably psychic power. What I would say though is I thought it was suitably tense.
Yep, agreed.
It was because again we don't really.
When you come back, you're not unscathed. Like there is a toll to coming back.
Yeah.
So you kind of get worse. Every time. Yeah.
Yeah, they sort of quickly figure out the time loop because one of the characters writes their name in the guest book of this place they're holed up in, and then after they've all died, she returns to life at the guest book, writing her name in it again, and so they sort of figure out what is happening, and then they sort of have to.
What if nobody writes their name in the guest book?
I was gonna ask you that.
I don't know.
Well, I said I was going to ask you, but I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you.
What if you did get in the car, like you were like, you're not going to, but then you did?
That's a great point, isn't it?
It's not in the rules, though, or something. I can't really get into...
Yeah, we'll get into it in spoilers, but I would say that the rules of the universe, how this town and this mechanism of time looping and all, pretty much everything about it is not really well established, really,
and
or
I don't
explained.
need it spelt out, but like any kind of explanation would have been fine. I think
just one explanation
anything,
for something.
yeah. But I think also there's pretty interesting deaths in this. Like I think like this. They're quite gory. There's some pretty funny ones. There's a moment where a character's like head gets smashed in with a hammer, and you see there's just like an eyeball, kind of like just left in the kind of the puddle of broken skull and brain and everything. And the idea is that every time you come back, like a different thing kills you, which is kind of where the cabin of the woods kind of element comes in, but not really.
No, it's not.
There's some consistent kind of ghouls or
and motifs, if it
come
were.
back,
like in the movie Cabin in the Woods, it's the classic horror movie cabin in the woods trope, but sometimes they're being killed by vampires or Frankenstein's monsters or very mermen or what have you. Whereas this, it's kind of like there's some clowny stuff, some witchy stuff,
Yep, and that's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
I think also some of these. I'm going to spoil one of the things that kills them.
Okay.
Some of these deaths are just really unfair, and how would you know?
Right.
There's a moment where they drink water and you just explode. Mm-hmm. And I like the whole thing is, unfair, but it's like, come on, man. Like, how is that like a horror death where you have a drink of water from a tap or anywhere and then you explode? Like, I just think that's...
Yeah, but it's
what is that?
Well, it's a metaphor for trauma, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it is. I hate because the way they tie all of like the reasoning why this happens. I hate how they tie that in and again that's more of a spoilers. I think that whole thing now because it's around mental health and like state of mind and depression and and I hate all of that as well. I also think at the end like when you get kind of you're told what is going on and like who's running it, but again with no kind of great depth. But I think by the end of this, I don't think there's any sense of closure or why did we do any of this? Like we walked away from this, but like who does and who doesn't? That's for the movie to say.
That's right.
But it's like okay, it's like, what about this? What about this person? What about that? Don't worry about it. All of you got out of Until Dawn.
Yeah. What does that mean for the universe as a whole and everybody else in the town and all this sort of stuff? Well, who knows, man?
Nothing, probably.
Nothing, really. Yeah.
But I think in terms of if you remove if you're a fan of the game, I don't think you're not going to like this. It seems. I think it's an okay horror movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm fascinated, though, that there is an active subreddit about the game Until Dawn.
Well, there's also, like, the Until Dawn, there was, like, a spiritual sequel a few years ago, which was, I can't remember.
Until Brunch. Hey man, where should we go for brunch? I don't know. There's a few options. Let's check. I'll check Yelp. I'll check that. Oh no, there's the Wendigo. Look
The
out!
Wendigo was there.
We never even met
The Quarry.
Okay.
So that's kind of a spiritual successor to this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, Hayden Panettiere. How do you say her name?
Panettiere.
Yeah. She's in that, the game. The game's from 2015.
Okay, right.
Rami Malek plays Josh Washington in it.
Josh Wash.
And there's other people that turn
Okay.
up. So
I thought the cast was pretty
yeah,
good.
it's good. I think they're likable enough.
Mm.
And it's a little, and I think it's on purpose. There are cliches of like, I'm just going to go check out that weird noise by myself. And okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back. Will you?
Yeah.
Etc. But I think also that's kind of the point. Is that it is this cliche horror time loop going on.
But it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't quite...
Looks good.
It does look good.
Yeah.
It never quite rises to the silliness of Cabin in the Woods.
No. Or even Happy Death Day, which is
a
bit of fun.
Yeah. So it's all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
I mean, it's not the worst movie ever, so therefore for me it must be the best movie ever.
Yeah.
It'd make me angry.
The more
It'd waste my time like a Minecraft
The more I think
movie.
about it, the more I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would still say at the time sitting in there, I was like, this is all right.
Yeah.
Which I guess is the best movie ever.
Yeah. Would I recommend anybody see this? Not really. There's better movies out
I would
currently.
say so. I would also, I think maybe this was a script for something else.
Oh, I see. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and there was, because they tack in elements of like, there's a missing poster and some of those people might be from the game, or there's a file on a doctor's desk which hints towards somebody exists.
Yeah,
and then at the end you might get a hint towards the location of the first game or whatever. But like, I don't care about that. And anybody who does care about that seems to be really upset about it.
That's right.
So, yeah. Anyways, let's do some spoilers.
It's big time spoiler time.
So the villain of this is Peter Stormare. Not only was he running a Peter Stormare, a local Stormare where you come through and you get some
That's right.
things.
Yeah.
He's also a psychiatric doctor of
Peter
sorts.
Stormare's fishing lures and things.
That's right.
Yeah, he also...
Ice cream sandwiches.
Yeah, he is also a psychologist or psychiatrist
Yep.
who is...
neither.
Well, we never see him prescribe any medication, so I think he might be a psychologist.
Yeah.
But
Or just a crazy person.
maybe he just doesn't give out those Xanaxes like candy, baby.
That's good then, I think.
Yeah. So he's pulling double duty.
Yep.
He might also be a single dad. I don't know. Maybe
We don't
that's why he's
know.
got
Maybe
two
he
jobs.
is.
But he's come to
Relatable.
this town because there was a big a hole opened up under the town and swallowed it up, and 1,000 people were killed.
Yep.
And seemingly what that has done, I think, it's not really expressly spelled out,
No.
but potentially because they hadn't really thought about it, and they're just like...
I thought I missed some stuff, and
No, you didn't.
I went looking through like explanations on the internet.
Oh,
I'm like,
wow.
oh no, I didn't miss anything.
Yeah, I need to read these so I can do my own explainer video. What it seems to have happened is that the death of all these people has created some sort of psychic bubble of unreality, which as a result allows everything in the movie to happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't really make any sense.
But
a lot
it's
of
also,
the stuff,
maybe it's your psyche that's doing it.
yeah,
Because you're mentally ill.
yeah,
And you
maybe
made
that's-
this happen.
And maybe your sister who went missing, she also did it or didn't.
And there's a witch. Once.
There is a witch once, and maybe she also was in the town. So what? How does this work? So
It doesn't.
no,
Go
it
on.
doesn't. So
The town sank,
yeah.
except for this place, which didn't sink.
Yeah.
Also, that sometimes some of the town isn't sunk.
Yeah.
But so you think you're on the first level of the visitor center, but you're actually on the second, which also doesn't make any sense because it's a waiting area.
Yeah, right. Uh-huh.
Like, why would you have the sided area on the second level of a visitor center?
It's madness.
Yeah.
But okay, so this I'm assuming it's a psychic bubble, unreality psychic bubble.
Yeah,
So
where it can't rain.
you're at can't rain. So what it can do is one of the things it can do is it's made all the water, so if you drink the water you explode.
Yep, any of it.
Seems that way.
Where did Peter Stormare get his coffee from?
That's a great point.
I guess he got it from the shop that he
maybe
works
he went
at.
to the shop, yeah.
that he works at and
Yeah, yeah.
runs.
Maybe it's a Dare iced coffee.
Maybe he doesn't own the shop. Maybe he just does shift work.
Maybe. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
That's not his fault then, is it? He
No.
needs a second job
That's true.
to support himself.
It can also so okay, so actually I guess the overarching explanation is that if you as you God, because the visitor center has a
like skull hourglass.
A sand-filled hourglass with a skull on it, and it rotates around when there's people in the visitors center.
Yep.
I guess.
Yep.
And then you have to, if everybody in the visitor center ends up dying before the sand comes through.
Yeah.
Then the day resets and it ends up.
And you get like 13 chances before you turn into a ghoul.
Well, that's the thing. And every time everybody dies, they come back and like they have bruises or they have extra teeth or whatever it is. And eventually, if you don't survive the night, you become a part of the night. So so there are a bunch of monsters in this universe.
Wendigos.
Who presumably are all people
who went missing. Her sister's one of them.
Yeah. Does this include any of the townsfolk that died?
Maybe.
Or they don't count? Also, the first time you die, you appear on a missing poster in the visitors center.
Peter Stormare's printing them off.
Is he printing them off? That's
know.
not magic. Maybe it's magic.
And sometimes when after you die or you're about to die, Peter Stormare will walk through and go, interesting.
Yeah.
But like,
how's he doing that?
How's he doing that? Why is nobody attacking him?
Yeah, why is
But
he
he's
immune?
also not immune because he drinks the water and explodes.
Spoiler alert at the end. He decides to come out and reveal to the de facto main character what is happening. And he does it in his office, and there's a drip of water coming down onto his desk, and he leaves his coffee mug an inch away from the drip. And so the lead character waits till he's turned away doing his monologue, and she subtly moves the cup of coffee, and some drips of water go into it, and then she moves it back, and he drinks it, and he explodes.
Yep.
So he's not immune to that, but there's a point where he examines all that. We see a video clip that one of the kids has recorded, or adults has recorded on their phone, and he examines the dead bodies, and then he goes through a doorway. But then later, when the characters go through that doorway, it is absolutely riddled with zombie clowns and killer Wendigos, and like really difficult to navigate things. Like they need two people to like move a pane of glass out of the way, and stumble over here, and it's all dark and whatever. And it's like when somebody plays a video game, and someone has to invade a headquarters of a villain, and it's all falling blocks and fire and swinging scythes and stuff, and it's like, how do these people get to work?
Yeah,
it's exactly like that. It's like, how are you immune to this?
Because it seems as if also he didn't.
Do you have an amulet?
Yeah, maybe he didn't start this.
No,
he came upon it and is using it to research fear and people turning into monsters.
Yeah.
And also one of the explanations is, well, actually, all these things that are happening, that's because of you, because you're mentally unwell. Yeah, and I've never seen that. I'm
right.
Peter Stormare, and I've never seen depression.
Yeah, right.
And you're manifesting all of this and causing the night to happen. But okay, what? Why?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the sister who was there a year prior,
and presumably on her own,
and got turned into a Wendigo. What did she experience? Did she experience the clock?
I guess so, but apparently it's
hourglass
slightly different for everybody.
Okay, that's handy.
But not many people get explosion water.
Right.
Apparently that's...
Oh, the explosion water's new.
Yeah, or unusual.
Because I thought, like, is some of this derived from the fact that the town sank? I thought, well, maybe the explosion water's because the town sank.
Good point.
And explosion waters run up from the groundwater or whatever. But no, I guess it's the psychic powers.
And there's also a moment where he's like, you did all of this is in your mind. And she's like, so it's not real. And he's like, no, it's real. And it's like, oh, okay, is it? Great. No, it's cool. It's real. It's happening. It's definitely
happening,
real. But you're doing it in your mind.
Yeah. So it's just a figment of my imagination. Nah, you're gonna die unless you escape this. You got to get out of the ground, underground before the timer runs out.
I feel like also like some of his rules are arbitrary because one of the things is like you can't just stay in a room and live till dawn.
Yeah,
why
he's giving
not?
them tips.
Why
would you bother?
But why can't you do that?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Because there's no because they do get out of it. But it's only it seems as if you just have to run around for a bit.
Yeah.
And then survive.
Yeah.
But also one of you has to die. But why? And it ends up being Peter Stormare and nobody else.
That's very
so
handy.
Everybody gets
He should have
out.
taken the day off.
Also, he doesn't die because it's kind of hinted at the end that
he just
not
comes
there.
back. Yeah.
I just don't understand why you can't lock yourself in a room. Like, barricade yourself.
Because the unbarricading monster would show up with telekinetic unbarricading powers.
Oh yeah, sometimes it's a ghost. It's an invisible ghost that throws you into a witch's house.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It possesses you, and then it breaks your neck, and then it goes into the witch's house.
Then it throws you into a witch's
Throws you
house.
into a witch's house, and then the witch is there, and the witch
possesses you.
no, the witch sucks your life. Oh, maybe
and maybe
right.
becomes you.
Yeah.
But just for a little bit.
And the witch is watching the TV.
Sometimes there's a worm in your face on a phone.
Sometimes there's a worm in your face on the phone.
Yeah.
Boy, it's a real scattershot approach to this, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. And again, it's that thing of like, well, yeah, if it's all in your mind and it's a well of psychic energy, I guess any irregularities.
Except it's real.
Except it's real. It's fine, yeah. Oh, yeah, there was that witch that, yeah.
That's what I mean, because and the witch is kind of a one-time thing.
Yeah.
And some of the things they look at on their phone are a one-time thing.
Yeah.
But it's mostly just ghouls biting you.
Yeah. And sometimes it's a ghoul in a clown mask
Who isn't a screaming zombie.
and he's invincible.
Yeah.
But then later you can just beat him up, I guess.
Yeah, you can beat him up a bit.
Because you believe in yourself, but there's never any. Also, there's
It's not real.
No, and there's
But it is real.
And there's a sequence as well where Peter Stormare's like, you can't just. You have to look around and stuff. And then they're like, we better do some research in this house. Let's open up some files and look at the files and videos and stuff.
Yeah. Like a video game.
Like I guess. And then they're like, well, he's probably not in this house. He's probably in the sanatorium next door. Let's look at them. He's on the map.
He's right
Let's set
there.
a waypoint on the map.
Yeah, and we'll go visit him.
Let's use our spook vision.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah,
And he's underground, maybe.
he's underground, I think, yeah.
Yeah, that's also my least favorite stuff in video games where it's like, you found a dossier. I don't care. Unless it's somebody telling me in a cutscene or over an earpiece,
yeah.
not reading that.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a secret. No, because I also know that no major secret is going to be revealed in a post-it note that I pick
you
up
can
in
miss.
a video
Yeah,
game.
exactly,
Like,
yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Wow.
I'm not stopping to read that.
Wow.
Not a moron.
Wow.
It's almost as bad as voice logs. Well, or better. I don't know. You know when you pick up a voice log and it's like, I'll be doing an experiment and
That's
it's
right.
very interesting. And then the next one's like, the experiment's got out of hand.
Day 15 of torturing the giant tentacle monster is going very well. I've come up with some great recipes out of it, and I think that it's looking really mad, but fortunately,
Big sheet of glass.
big sheet of glass is there. And it's been banging on the glass, but it's not going to get through the glass.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it very much so. I'm looking at it through the glass, and I'm like, it looks like it's going to wear itself out.
Day 57, it got me. Squash me up with a tentacle. I
Got
realized
through that bloody glass.
I
tell you
realized
what.
it was hubris. I realized I was doing hubris this
Yeah,
whole time.
that's right.
I only realized now, though, on day
Yeah.
57.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you find this, be careful.
Yeah.
Hope this helps.
Use your detective vision. Use your science vision.
Yeah, he's in the visitor center or whatever.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
in the science laboratorium.
Yeah.
The guy who did this,
Yeah.
which is me, maybe also.
Yeah. Remember, it's got 3 protective tentacles, and you have to shoot the 3 protective tentacles, and then you'll expose its heart. And then you can shoot its heart, but then it'll grow 3 more protective tentacles, and then...
Yeah, and if you're running low on health, just duck behind a chest-high wall, and then it should recover. Or he'll drop a health back out of his
Yeah.
beak or something. I don't know.
Alas, I was not in a room with a chest-high wall, so I was killed. Video game.
Video games. Oh, and at the end, it's the house from. Is it the house from?
Apparently, it's when
You see some footage.
and it's a snowy location, and apparently it's the house.
Is Until Dawn the first game? Is it set in like the 90s or something?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
You'd have to ask Rami Malek, award-winning actor Rami Malek.
I'm just looking if
Get your big Frank. What's the guy's name?
Castle.
No, Freddie Mercury. Get your big Freddie
yeah.
Mercury teeth out and answer me this damn question, Rami Malek.
Damn, Rami Malek. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I can't find when this is set.
Same.
Same.
Yep.
You weren't even looking.
No.
Yeah, great. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. But I mean, look, I reckon,
Streaming.
if you're a horror fan, it pops up on something on the front page. Don't go looking for it.
No.
But if it just appears, give it a whirl for 5 minutes. You might like the characters,
The prologue of the game is 2014, and then a year later, so it is modern day.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
great. I like David F. Sandberg.
Yeah, me too.
Should we move on to the next segment?
Yeah, movies
What's
are
it
back.
called?
It's called Movies Are Back.
The good movie, and it's also called.
Oh, what we're reading?
Yep.
What we're going to read?
Yep. I'm doing the thing. What are we reading today? What have you been watching, reading, doing?
It's a great question.
There's a
James.
Spider-Man Predator comic, issue 1 came out.
Oh,
I read
how's
that.
Spider-Man doing against the Predator?
He hasn't met him yet.
Is he
Because it's issue 1.
he
But he's
quipping?
like, something's going on.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Something's
yeah.
going on. Is someone skinning people and hanging them up?
Can his spider senses detect a cloaked predator?
I feel like Spider-Man could kill a Predator pretty easily.
Yeah, like one punch if he really wanted to.
Yeah.
You know, and he could find that, fine line of, well, he's a sentient being, but he's not from around here.
He sucks.
He ain't from New York City, baby.
And he sucks.
Bang!
Yeah.
One punch, bang! His
One
head comes
punch,
off.
bang, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all right, it seems.
Okay,
They're doing
right.
a bunch of Predator Avengers crossover stuff. There's a Predator Kills the Marvel Universe. Unlikely, but that's coming out soon.
yeah.
But
Couldn't even take Spider-Man.
I kept getting recommended clips for the 1984 movie Amadeus.
Okay.
So I'm like, it's a Mozart movie. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to watch Amadeus, the director's
Why are you
cut.
getting clips of this? On
Don't know.
YouTube?
I just started getting it on YouTube.
Do the Zoomers love
Apparently,
Amadeus
I must
somehow?
have said something or looked at something for too
Okay,
long.
right.
So I got this. So it stars Tom Hulce as Wolfgang Amadeus, F. Murray Abraham as his rival. A bunch of other people are in it.
I'd marry him.
Would you?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
He won an Oscar for this, actually.
That's great,
Tom
yeah.
Hulce is amazing also as Wolfgang Amadeus. And it's like the story of his life, how he's like, he revolutionized music in whatever century this was in.
In a way, was he the first rapper?
Yeah, he was.
Wow,
yeah.
that's great.
Yeah. And he does several raps.
That's
throughout
terrific.
the movie.
Wow.
So it is about this kind of rivalry and like how Wolfgang Amadeus kind of gets destroyed by the way society is built and the pressures upon him.
He's in a rivalry with society,
Exactly.
but not another guy.
No, but also maybe a lot of this is like
Macho Man
exaggerated.
Randy
or-
Savage?
Yes.
Yeah,
A lad who wasn't born yet, but he knew he was coming.
that's right.
And so it's kind of like, yeah, it's the story of his life told from not strictly his perspective, but more like his rival, and how basically like the people not understanding him or finding him annoying, or being desperately jealous of his
Oh,
talent,
I see what
bring
this
him
is.
down.
This is you feel this is a metaphor for your own life.
Exactly. I'm trying to bring you down with this podcast, and I think it's working because you're certainly not getting better.
No,
Anyway, it's terrific.
but joke's on you. I never wanted to get better.
Great.
and I've never tried.
I could tell.
I know you could.
I mean, it's not really talked about anymore, I feel, but like I thought it was tremendous. I watched the director's cut of it, and just even like its representation of music is done like in the way that's weaved in and out of the narrative. There's a moment where you see F. Murray Abraham like reading like the stuff that Mozart had written.
Music.
And just coming to the realization of like he can't believe this and he's loving it, but he's also like horribly depressed that he
Yeah.
could never do this, which is the way I feel about you.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Thanks, man. Anyway, if you're getting clips of it on YouTube, check it out.
Well, do you have to pay for it?
Yeah, I paid for it. I bought it off Amazon for like $15,
Whoa.
which is a lot.
Wow.
But whatever. It was
It's an
good.
old movie.
It's an old movie. It came out the year after I was born, or maybe 2 years after. Jeffrey Jones is in it.
Who's that?
Famed pedophile, Jeffrey Jones. I didn't think you'd like that.
I didn't like it.
Cynthia Nixon's in it as well.
Oh.
Yeah. It's just kind of a movie they don't really make now.
Oh, is he the guy from Beetlejuice?
Yeah,
who
he
Jeffrey
is.
Jones
Yes,
is?
that's right.
Okay,
That's
right.
correct. Anyway, what are you reading?
I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to watch Havoc. I've been watching Mobland, which is the not Guy Ritchie, it's the Tom Hardy crime show.
You what?
And this is Gareth Evans and Tom Hardy. It's on Netflix. It's a freebie.
Yeah, Mason.
Yeah.
Mason. Oh, it's got a 67% on Rotten Tomatoes. How would you find the action in this?
How would I
How
find
would
it?
you find it?
I find it
Timothy Olyphant's in it.
Yeah.
Forrest Whitaker's in it.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'd find it thrilling. A non-stop thrill ride, actually.
Okay, great.
Yeah, reminiscent of Gareth Evans' earlier works. That's how I'd find it, had I watched it yet, but I haven't. So
Gareth Evans. I get him confused with Gareth Edwards. He did The Raid, didn't he?
Correct, yes.
And The Raid 3, which isn't out yet.
And The Raid 2, which is out yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Raid 3 is coming out next year.
Yeah.
Fantastico. All in all, I liked it. Wait, what did you watch?
I didn't.
You didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it.
Cool.
What are you going to do about it?
I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah, you're going to flip the table? Before I get a chance to flip the table?
One of us has to flip the table. We could flip it together. It'll
That's
be
true.
easier.
Teamwork.
Yeah.
That's great. That's what makes a podcast great.
Hey, do you want to flip it onto the dog? Do you want to?
No. No.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Me neither. That was a test.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to get someone else.
Wait a
in.
second, though. If we don't tip it on the dog's going to tip
Exactly.
it on us. Oh, my God. Hey, Ollie, come here a second.
Fantastic stuff, Mason.
Fantastic
Let's move it along.
beasts and where to find them. We're bringing it back.
No, we're not.
We're hoping for the last two.
Nobody's bringing it back.
Oh.
No, you don't care.
No, I don't care at all. I hope it crashes and burns.
It did.
Yeah, good. I hope even more so, though.
But you're looking forward to the new Harry Potter TV series.
Nope.
Aren't you worried it's too woke?
I'm a little bit worried about that, yes. Thank you.
I'm a little bit concerned.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. It has crossed my mind. It's going to be a bit woke.
No more spells and potions,
yeah.
more
Smells and lotions?
smells and lotions.
Yeah, smells and demotions.
Sure. God. Can't get anything right, can they? These
Nah,
days.
no, you can't.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're going to pull it off.
No.
I mean, even if it runs the whole length of time,
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, it's got a good, its cast seems good and some names behind writing it seem all right, but I don't know. Who gives a shit?
I think every kid.
It's over.
I think the audience of kids they want to watch this have already been shown the previous Harry Potter movies, and their Harry Potter is Daniel Radcliffe and is that cast, and they're.
Well, J.K. Rowling doesn't like them.
That's true.
So no. And they should be more grateful, those brats who are now in their mid-30s.
That's right.
Why aren't they more grateful, Mason?
Yeah.
For this terrible woman.
Why haven't they remained my best friend like all the mold in my castle? Telling me all the things I need to know, all the correct things that I already know.
Yeah.
I don't have billionaire's disease. I'm normal.
Normal woman.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's next?
Letters.
Yep.
I'll play letters then.
The classic one was letters, oh letters, we love you. Some letters, they're only a day away. You know they're here right now. We're going to do letters.
Namaste, everybody.
It's coming through good. It's coming through good on these new pop filters.
You've got a great phone, though, if you don't mind me saying so.
Thanks, man.
It's one of the things I'm extremely jealous of about you,
Yeah.
among other things. The pop filter as well.
My pop filter that you purchased.
These are different.
Are they?
Actually, no, these are exactly the same.
Yeah.
That one's different.
Yeah.
Because Joel Zammit brought it here when he came to podcast and he left it. So now it's mine.
Wow.
What an idiot.
That's how you acquired all this equipment.
That's right. Joel Zammit left it. Mason, it's quite simple. If you want to reach the show, you can send Mason a very short Gmail.
That's
To
right.
weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to use a lot of paragraphs, don't. But if you're going to write a really long one, use paragraphs, but also don't. Would you say?
I would say
I'm
that,
speaking on
absolutely.
behalf of you.
That's true.
I'm your representation.
And you also put a thread in the Planet Broadcasting Great
I
Mates
do,
Facebook
I
group
do.
and
Yeah.
ask people questions in there. Here's an email from Bryn.
Bryn!
And Bryn said, "What did I do wrong?
Wow.
I had a dream last night that you guys did a review of my life as if it was a bad movie. Morbius level bad. You guys rated me poorly. I woke up with a cold sweat."
What did you do, though?
Doesn't say.
What's their life about?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's interesting we rated her life poorly because our rating system is simply, well, in this case, it would be best life ever or worst life
Correct,
ever.
yeah.
So we'd have said, nah, Bryn, you've got the worst life ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Of everyone we know.
That's right. And we know some real losers.
Oh, my God.
Right?
We knew a guy who pretended to be in the Air Force for a really long
That's
time.
right. And he always posed
He wore
posed near
pi-
planes and cars, and
Yeah,
he's
he
like,
wore
yeah,
his
it's my car.
Pilot overalls.
Why aren't you driving that car now if you own a Porsche? Where is it now?
Yeah.
Oh, it's,
Dominic is getting detailed
all right.
overnight.
Yeah. It's getting an overnight detail. Oh, so it'll be ready in the morning, will it?
I'm happy to drive you back if you need to pick up your Porsche from the overnight Porsche detailing shop. But he used to wear he must have got second-hand the uniform.
Yeah.
Where? Cool and normal.
Cool and normal guy.
Yeah. I mean,
Best life
talking
ever.
about how people said I'd never do it, but here I am. God, what a depressing life. Pretending to be a pilot.
Hey, if you're out there pretending to be a pilot, email in, let us know.
How's it going?
Is it sad like that, or is it more of a catch me if you can, like fun kind of
Yeah,
Playboy
I would
in the
like
air
it to
situation?
be a catch me if you can situation. But it's probably not, because they probably would catch you if you were to go in and fly a jet, I reckon.
These days, I reckon. Yeah,
easily, they
They'd be
catch
like, "Where's your ID?" And you'd be like, "I don't have any." And they'd be like, "Well, that's sort of important."
Yeah.
Back in the day, they'd go, "Where's your ID?" And you'd be like, "That we haven't invented that yet."
Yeah.
And they'd go, "Absolutely.
Good point.
Here's a martini. We'll put it next to your pilot's chair." And you'd be like, "I will."
Thanks, I will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I got a letter here, Mason, from Josh, who says, "Will you be doing Andor weekly reviews or wait until the whole show comes out? Sadly, once it finishes." We're gonna do the whole thing, and at the end. And so that this next one speaks about that from Liam. He says, "How do you feel about Star Wars introducing extremely mature concepts such as SA?" Trigger warning, by the way, for sexual assault. If the time goes below, if you do want to skip this. as seen in Andor. Is it too Rebel Moon edgy for edgy's sake, or do you think Star Wars can and should include such dark elements? Rebel Moon felt like, I don't know, it didn't...
Salacious.
Yeah, and also, like, it didn't feel real.
Didn't feel... Exactly, yeah.
Whereas Andor felt like...
Yeah,
really harrowing and.
I mean,
awful.
you know, I'm sure we'll cover this when we cover the whole lot. But the first 3 episodes, I think, covered a lot of like issues that felt really real in the real world.
Yeah,
like in this sort of space opera setting. Like there's a couple of scenes in the first 2 episodes where we keep cutting back from the rival rebels groups constantly infighting with each other and trying to kill each other over small misunderstandings, and then it cuts back to the secret meeting of the Imperials where they're like, we're going to do a lot of evil, and all the Imperials are like, we agree.
But what kind of evil can we do?
Yeah.
We've got so many options.
We've got so many options for evil. And
we've all bought our own ideas.
That's right, and our own lunches.
That's right. Oh, really? You have to bring your own lunch?
No, they've supplied lunch.
Okay, I was going to say, it seems like a room where they'd supply lunch.
It looks like, and everybody's having,
Yeah.
But I love just the idea of like,
the banality of...
Yeah, and the idea of, like... A lot of people say that about the left is like they're constantly just trying. They would work better if they just presented a unified front. But so many groups of left leaning individuals are just like, well, we got to knock this guy down a peg or two. We got to chip away at this. This person said the wrong thing. This blah blah blah. Whereas the other side are just like, let's do some evil.
We're all ghouls.
Well, let's do some ghoulish stuff, and they're like, yeah, nice.
Yeah,
nice actually.
I think, and I know there's been a lot of discourse around that scene in particular in Star Wars, and comments about, well, Darth Vader would never allow this. Famous child murderer Darth Vader. There also has been like essay in Star Wars before, like in expanded media. Also, you mentioned this the other day, but Darth Vader just stood back while the planet was exploded.
That's
like
true.
It was nothing.
He could have done the Force.
He could have done the Force
Switch
at any point.
And they would have gone, Switch doesn't work, we can't destroy Alderaan.
Somebody's done the Force on that, but we don't know who. So, I mean, for me, I thought it was done well. I mean, in terms of like, it felt realistic and harrowing. And things like this, it happens. Like, this is as a result of conflict and people taking advantage of the sliver of power that they have.
Yes.
Will use that to their advantage to do horrible deeds. And a lot of the things that are in this show that are currently happening, they were written because of these things years ago even before, like, because now, of course, they're cracking down on immigration in the US in particular. It doesn't obviously just happen there. But like, that is it's not like they wrote it just in time for this to happen. These things have always happened.
Yeah, but you kind of think you exist in a world of law and order, but like you are still at the mercy of these like little dictators that work at checkpoints and whatever.
Also, Darth Vader wasn't there because he can't, like, maybe he probably wouldn't approve of it. I guess, I don't know. But he's also a fictional man, and he was set on fire, and all his genitals burnt off. I don't know what he's about, but like, he's
all his genitals,
all of them.
Wow,
he bought a collection from home.
That's great.
So I don't. They're all terrible in different ways, and again, like little men with a little bit of power, and just doing terrible things.
The best guy is Cassian Andor, and he's terrible also.
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah,
but he's sure flying that plane around though.
That's so true,
and that was cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
I thought it was incredible. Apparently, it was also like the weaker episodes of what we're going to be getting, which I just thought it was amazing. I'll be very sad when this is over and that's the end of Star Wars.
Tony Gilroy did an interview this week, I think, where he was like, they're never going to do anything like this again. And I think he meant in terms of scope, like real sets, going on location, all this sort of stuff. But I mean, ultimately, he meant quality as well. He didn't say that, but I mean, we all know.
And I like how he's just like, Darth Vader's not in it. He doesn't say much.
Doesn't have much to say
him. So,
and we have our own Darth Vader. It's Ben Mendelsohn.
That's right. And there's no we know ultimately where this ends, because we've all seen Rogue One and Star Wars, I assume.
That laser comes down and they escape through a time tree.
That's right. But it ultimately doesn't matter. Anyway, it's incredible, and it's the best show in Star Wars.
True.
And maybe just the best Star Wars. No, it is.
Here's an email from Sam.
Sam?
It says, this one's from Sam.
Sam.
G'day, gents. I've recently started watching The Studio, and in the first episode, they talk about making a Kool-Aid movie, which got me thinking about which brand would be the stupidest to adapt into film. My question for you is, if you had the power to make a movie about any brand you wanted, which one would you choose?
The Chomp Crocodile.
The Chomp Bar?
The Chomp Crocodile. There's a...
On the Chomp Bar?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Who would you pick?
He's
He's got a backwards hat and maybe a skateboard.
Yeah,
He does have a skateboard.
Yeah.
Imagine this guy running around, skating around.
Damn.
He's cool.
Yeah, yeah. You given any thought to his backstory or anything like that?
No,
Okay.
I haven't.
Okay.
Have you given any thought to it?
What's in a chomp?
It's like a chewy caramel situation.
Okay.
They're always like 60 cents still.
Yeah,
They're
right.
amazing.
I reckon I would like to see a movie then based on Twix.
Oh.
Because that's a chewy caramel.
We're brothers. We're the Twix brothers.
That's right.
And we're fighting vampires.
Exactly.
What do
That's
you
right.
think?
Yeah.
We're trying to make a chocolate party. We're down from Chicago. And we're going to
Nice.
invite all the people.
Yeah.
And there's free chocolate for
Yeah.
everybody.
What are we gonna do? The vampires they're gonna bite. Well, we put caramel on your neck. Put a gooey caramel on you. They can't get through it. You know.
Amazing.
Spoilers.
And it also probably says something about society.
I think
race,
it does.
et cetera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is going to be like Deep Impact Armageddon. It's counter program. It's the same thing.
I'm sorry, my movie and your movie, or
Yeah.
are you making two Twix movies?
I'm making
about the
one.
Twix brothers?
You're making Chomp, and I'm
Yeah.
making Twix, and they're going to come in at the same week.
I feel like I'm at a disadvantage because nobody knows what a chomp is.
Yeah, but I
You
got
got-
the Twix
you got
brothers.
Twix, man.
And the brothers.
and they are brothers.
They are brothers. It's true, yeah.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed that Kool-Aid episode where it's like, because it really is like, that's the worst thing you could make.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
It's like when the Emoji movie came out, but I guess there's even more ideas in the Emoji movie than there
Yeah.
are. Something else terrible.
I'm trying to think, because in America they have more cereal mascots. They have like Count Chocula,
Yeah.
etc. We don't really have...
Not as much, no.
No.
We've got Snap, Crackle, and Pop.
That's true.
Worst mascots.
I think Snap, Crackle, and Pop are Rice Krispies mascots in America as well.
Oh, wow.
No, that's right. Not to brag.
There's some kind of baby.
What about this? Two-man cop team,
Yep.
head and shoulders.
Oh, okay.
You know?
I'm head and I'm shoulders.
That's right.
We're bad cops.
That's right.
We're bad
Yeah.
cops doing bad things.
Yeah. But look at her hair. Look how silky it is.
So silky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just looking
I mean,
at worst
shoulders
mas-
is bald.
What?
Yeah, he shaves his head.
Oh, he shaves his
No,
head.
he says he shaves his
No, he
head.
says he shaves his head.
his head. Yeah.
But he is bald.
Yeah. Sometimes, he's been on the case for a few days and you can see it's grown
Oh,
back.
it's coming through, but it's not quite.
Widow's-
Sticker on the sides.
Yeah.
Okay, shoulders.
Yeah, all right, shoulders. All right, shoulders.
There's some more. Andre, who says, "Hey there, boys."
And then, boys.
With Until Dawn seeming like being a dud and The Last of Us making waves with fans and critics, are there any game adaptations that came out bad at first but you think should get another chance to be translated to the big screen? I mean, they did that with Mario. Also, I'm not loving The Last of Us Season 2.
Oh, interesting. I
I'm
haven't got
just
onto it yet.
Not loving it. What do you think, mate? I feel like the Silent Hill movies, well, the first one I remember quite liking.
Yeah.
There's a room for that to be.
They didn't try to do too much with the Silent Hill movies. You know?
Would you like to do more?
No, I'm saying I think that was probably pitched correctly.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Like
Yep,
it was
yep,
just
yep,
it
yep,
was
yep.
just sad and weird, and that lady got set on fire or something.
Do you think Borderlands could be good?
Not
you ever
after
want
the
to
last one.
I mean, Max Payne, but what do you do with it's just an action
It's
movie,
just an
right?
action movie, yeah.
With
yeah,
slow motion shooting.
Yeah.
Doom? I mean, I think you can do more with like demons.
You could
and
absolutely do more
whatever.
with Doom. I think
There was a Doom movie from a few years ago, actually.
Doom movie. Yeah, the had a BFG 9000 in it probably.
Uh,
Yeah, you could do a Doom movie if you just did and again, some people are sort of against the overwhelming amount of lore.
Not me.
Yeah, I love the too much lore from Doom Eternal and the Ancient
Yeah.
Gods and all that sort of stuff. I think it's cool.
I feel like, we talked about these not that long ago, like Assassin's Creed and Warcraft, there is definitely something there that you could do an expanded version of, which
Yeah,
not
right.
is strictly
Uh-huh.
the games.
Yeah.
But they did that in the movies and they were both not great.
Yeah.
We are getting a new Street Fighter. Blood Rain, we could do that. I mean, they're doing Resident Evil again. That could be interesting.
So true.
And the director of that
So true.
seems to be a good one. Injustice live action. They did the movies. They did some
Yes.
animated movies. Wouldn't
That's
mind
true.
seeing some Injustice in live action. How do you feel about the Angry Birds movies?
What about the Angry Video Game Nerds movies?
I saw that.
Yes.
Good job. Would have been hard to make, I assume.
Yes, that's right. It's difficult to make any movie.
Completely agree. And that's all I'll say to that.
Yeah.
That's all my emails, though,
I
Mason.
might have one more email. Let's find it.
Wow. What do I have to do?
Shut up. No, just kidding. You can fill.
A lot of these are also like, oh, do you want to see an Uncharted movie again? Not really.
Not really. You had your chance and you ruined it.
That's right. I like Tomb Raider. I think to lend themselves to like an Indiana Jones style movie. But again, that is also not dissimilar from Uncharted. Mm-hmm. So my brother just messaging me.
Which one?
The one that you like.
Yeah, nice.
We're going to dinner. Just me and him and our families.
To hash some stuff out.
We have to, Mason. You know about our relationship. It is frayed and fraught. Do you agree?
No, I think it's good. What you've got. I think it's good.
How do you feel about Final Fantasy again? Prince of Persia again? Five Nights at Freddy again?
Wouldn't mind Prince of Persia again, honestly.
Yeah.
Are you saying it because it's just
I love Prince
sandals
of
and
Persia,
sorcery?
but I don't want that. What about if you could watch Need for Speed again, but the original?
The one with Aaron Paul in it?
Yeah.
I've not finished that. Why
But
would
you
I?
could watch it again.
Oh. But it's slower?
Yeah, it's slower and worse. There's probably something in the Hitman movies. I'm just going through a list here. Well, I'm padding for time.
I know, but I've found another email.
Thank God.
This is from Matthew.
Wing Commander?
Another Wing Commander? No.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Ah.
This is from Matthew.
Matthew.
He says, I was in the Bourne Ultimatum.
What?
Hello, lads. G'day, and hopefully this reaches you around the time you reach Bourne 3. Bourne goes to London and uses the web.
Coming out 2 weeks,
That's
baby.
right. Perfect time to reach out. And so I worked as an extra for years, and I was in many things, including the Penrose step scene in Inception. That's the one where they're going up the steps, and
that's
it's like,
awesome.
How can we go up these steps when they're going down?
These are Penrosing.
Yeah, that's right.
Who's Penrosing these steps?
Penrose?
Is it
Get out of
you,
here.
Christopher Nolan? Get in here. Sorry, go on.
Who's that talking?
Cillian Murphy.
Well, he was the boss on that set.
Yeah, he was.
Wow, all right. It's great. And he was in the Penrose steps in Inception and 2 scenes in the Bourne Ultimatum. I'm somewhere in the Waterloo Station set piece. That's a good set piece.
I
We watched
agree.
it. But also when he goes to the internet cafe, I'm sitting directly opposite him.
Oh.
He stepped on my toes at one point and was perfectly polite, so I can say an Oscar winner apologized to me.
That's good.
Because, I mean, normal people are always apologizing to Oscar winners, I think.
Completely agree, as they should.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Cillian Murphy. Sorry for Penrose.
Get Christopher Nolan in here. Who's this idiot talking to me? Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan. Anyway, thanks as always for the excellent pod and the excellent laughs. I'd love you guys to do a Weekly Planet context-isode one day to fill in listeners on who you actually are and who you were when you started all this insanity.
No.
No, Matthew, no.
Yeah, whatever.
You've gone too far there.
There's enough information of us out there where you could piece it together, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, but no. I don't know. What do you want to know?
Yeah.
What do you want to know?
Yeah.
What do you think he wants to know?
What we're wearing.
I'm wearing a jumper.
Yeah, nice.
You're wearing a denim
I'm
jacket.
wearing a denim jacket.
Yeah.
Below the waist, that's our little secret.
A second denim jacket.
That's right. That's right. That's the true double denim. A lot of people don't think that. They think it's
And
jeans
you might
and
think,
a
is he
denim
tying
jacket.
it around his waist? No, he's put his legs through the arms
That's
and
right.
he's wearing a denim jacket like a pair of pants.
That's right.
And I'm also doing that.
God, our budget for denim jackets is insane.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's out of control.
It's out of control, right?
And
But it's
hard-
worth it.
But it's also hard to order because what size are you even going for?
Right?
Because your legs are thicker than your arms.
That's true, isn't it?
Well, not mine. I'm built like an emu.
Yep.
Mason.
You're built like a baked potato with 2 French fry legs.
Should we wrap it up?
We should wrap it up, folks.
Well,
Thank
now's
you
the
so
perfect
much.
time for that.
Thank you so much for listening. We absolutely appreciate it. Thank you for telling your friends about the podcast because that is how we get new listeners. And thank you for leaving a 5-star review on your app of choice.
Correct.
If you do so, James will find it. And you better believe he's going to read it out on the podcast.
Jesus. Dogs catching birds out there, mate.
Catching birds. But
Yeah.
not really. Just running at them.
Just running at them. Just running at them, mate. Go on.
James is going to find some reviews.
Got some right here. This one's from movie fan #176. It says great show, absolutely amazing. The only Aussie guys.
The only Aussie guys.
to-
End
what?
of review.
Great to go to if you want red hot comic book movie news shooting up your butthole. I listen to it at work and casually, and I can't count the amount of times I've burst out.
I can't
laughing.
count. End of story.
What?
Yeah, that's
Learn
right.
to count, man. Keep up the great work.
Keep
PS,
up.
Grab that gem. And this
Keep
one.
up.
Keep up, mate. Oh, what happened to the name on this one?
What happened to the
It's
name?
disappeared. I'll see if I can find it. But it says, I've been an avid listener since I was in college. Always one to walk and listen, and I constantly find myself laughing to myself walking down the busy streets.
We get it. You can walk and listen at the same time.
Must be nice.
Must
If you
be
like fun,
nice.
funny accents, I'm Irish, so it's just slightly amusing. And movie and comic book news, and this is the place for you. Let me just see if I can quickly find who that's from. And I can't. I'll find that while you're doing the
Mr.
rest of it.
Podcast Reviews.
Mr. Podcast Reviews.
Mr. Podcast, how dare you?
That's highly unusual, Mr. Podcast Reviews. Why are we anything?
I don't know, man. Folks, I tell you this for free.
This is free.
This
by
is
the way.
free. This one little piece of advice I'm giving you is for free.
Correct.
If you want to get into contact with us, you can go to weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com.
You know it.
Or you can go to the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates Facebook group or the Weekly Planet Podcast subreddit and Discord for fun civil chats about podcasts and pop culture. Thank you to Fidel and Maisie and Sarabi for moderating over those forums. They're keeping them cool. And also they do video clips for our Clips channel and our TikTok and Never Go Back video series about video games.
Oh, the name was here. This was from Take 5 Stars or Leave It.
Oh, that's good.
I always thought that was the
yeah,
type. Yeah,
you got tricked.
I did.
God, that's all. That review's all the sweeter. It got read out and they tricked you.
And he got me.
Yeah, that's
or
right.
she. Women can get me too.
That's true. I mean,
non-binary.
Very few women have got you in the past.
Oh,
James.
come on, mate. Hey, mate, come on.
They're like, I don't know, man.
Collins, take this out. It's not true.
Take this out or James is fired. When if you want to follow some people on the socials,
I'd love to.
follow Rob Collins or you're fired. He's at Rob Collins on Twitter. He's at The Weekly Planet on Twitter. He'll keep you updated on all things The Weekly Planet.
Oh, yeah.
Follow me on Twitter at Wikipedia Brown and on Instagram I'm Nick Maso. James is Mr. Sunday Movies everywhere.
Everywhere.
If you want to support your show, you want to go and support the show.
I do.
You go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies, chucking a buck or an amount you would not miss. Or you can go to bigsandwich.co, sign up for $9 per month, bonus podcast, early videos, video game, let's play, movie commentaries, whole shebang. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you to The Brute and the Basilisk and Rackham for all our musical themes.
Yeah, man.
If you want a t-shirt, you go to tpublic.com. Search for The Weekly Planet or Weekly Planet posters. You find a tea. You find the tea of your dreams. And I'm not talking about an English breakfast tea.
I mean, you could find that, but they have to find that in your own time.
That's true, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next week, Thunderbolts,
Asterisk and Obelix.
That's right. Yeah. And Getafix. And the others.
Vital Statistics. Cacophonics.
Yes. He was the bard.
Yeah, that's right. I've named enough.
That's enough. That's enough.
Cool.
Tintin.
Different comic.
I'm aware.
Both French? Is Tintin French?
He's Belgian. But I don't know if Tintin's supposed to be Belgian or what. Yeah, right? Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, man.
All right, bye, everyone.
Okay, grab that, Jeb. We'll see you next time, guys.
Why'd
Bye.
you bring up Tintin?
Yeah.
You didn't have to do that.
I
you even
did.
seen the Tintin movie?
Have I seen it? Yeah.
And?
It's good stuff.
I heard it's good, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.